Hi, this is Melody with Summit Software, and this demo is for the dynamic programming model. And for this demonstration, we will be overviewing the ShapeApp Dynamic Programming Model C# sample included with the SDK. The Dynamic Programming Model, or DPM for short, offers the end user a much more natural coding experience because it allows them to reference objects in the host by name. These objects include host items, which are entry point types in the proxy and denote the me or this in the add-in, and host objects, which are contained within a host item and are not required to be an entry point type. In this sample, the drawings will serve as the host items, and the shapes that the drawings contain will serve as the host objects. To use the ShapeApp DPM sample, we'll first open and build the solution. We'll then run the included setup file. This setup file registers ShapeApp C# as a VSTA host and adds some registry entries for the host item templates, which are used by the DPM projects. We'll now run the host. And to add DPM customizations, we must first save the document that we're going to customize. Then from the Customize menu, we select which language to write the add-in in. For this sample, we'll use Visual Basic. Within the VSTA IDE, you'll see in the Project Explorer that each drawing or host item has its own file, as well as the document which contains the drawings. Within the drawing files, you can add events, or you can add code to the startup method, which is called when the add-in is loaded. You'll also notice if you change the name of a drawing, that change is reflected in the Project Explorer. We'll add some shapes to the drawing now. And returning to the IDE, we can see that these shapes can now be referenced by name. We'll add some code to the startup events, the startup methods of the document and drawing classes. As I said, these startup methods will be called when the add-in is loaded. So for the document, we'll only add a message box alerting us that the add-in has been loaded. Then in the drawing type, we've already added some event handling for when a shape is added to the drawing. And we'll add an additional message there. And within the startup method, we'll also go ahead and add a shape to the active drawing, or I'm sorry, to the current drawing. This sample uses the same style debugging as VSTO, which is called Visual Studio Style Debugging or Destructive. And when you begin debugging, you will start a new instance of the host application. So we'll start debugging now, and we'll first see that our message from the document startup method is called. We'll then see that the shape is added in the startup method of drawing 1, and the event handling is fired. We'll add an additional shape and see that the event is fired again. In this demonstration, we saw that DPM allows end users to program against named objects in the host. In this sample, the host objects were shapes contained within drawings, which served as host items. We also saw that name changes to host items can be reflected in the IDE. If you're interested in seeing how the code behind DPM works, there's some excellent walkthroughs online through the MSDN library. I've included some links for both the VSTA documentation and the DPM walkthroughs. If you are interested in more information on VSTA, please contact us through sumsoft.com or through VSTA support@sumsoft.com.